will there be any suggestions on how to support others going through the process? I'm a bit puzzled. I'm a bit puzzled. So I will try to respond to that, but maybe if you want to elaborate, feel free to elaborate a little bit more. But just to say, there is this principle, right? Supporting others on the process, right, when they go through this process, is always accompanied by tremendous let's maybe welcome this as an opportunity to speak about this, and maybe I'm taking it a little bit too close to the heart or too far. It will be clear in a moment if I understand exactly what that question really represents, but let me make something very clear. One of the also undeniable reasons why we have decided to come up with this course, which, by the way, also would be transformed eventually into potentially a book later on, and serve as the first step towards the realization of that initiation that we had some years ago, of which I shared at the very beginning, to form such conference on Kundalini, international conference where peers in the field can get together, where the discussion can be held in forums and panels made of spiritual teachers, guides, psychologists and psychiatrists, so as to redress this whole situation where we find ourselves, where a lot of spiritual awakenings being A, pathologized, and B, treated, and above all else mistreated by psychiatrical intervention. This is a large part in the Kundalini care, in the course. So this also invites the opportunity to respond to this very clearly, that when I have been exposed over the years to varieties of ways of how some people out there, who in my view take it or leave it, have not completed the process themselves, do not have the credentials and how to, and yet begin to offer guidance to others. This is a very, very precarious situation. It's almost blind leading the blind is an understatement, because when it comes to the complications, which are aplenty out there when it comes to this, and this also will become clear in the very first module when we will open it up on June 19th, we will talk about this. Why that is? Just to say now, it's a day and age we live in. The subtle body, the state of the subtle body of a modern human being is perhaps at the most polluted state it has ever been throughout the history. Just perhaps. And that makes it extremely and exceptionally difficult when the force fully unleashes itself. We could even say, thankfully, majority of people out there who speak about their profound Kundalini awakenings actually do not experience the full Kundalini release. What they experience instead are a variety of phenomena which symptomatologically very closely associated with Kundalini process, yet falls short of it. Therefore, thankfully, they are not exposed to these potentials where without the guidance and DIY style can wreak havoc in their physiology. And that is in fact what I've been observing for many, many, many years. So when one is placing themselves in the position of guiding others, one needs to consider here at least two aspects. One is an obvious aspect of knowing what one is doing, right? Because we are not dealing here with, you know what, my computer is not working and I have no clue about how computers are made. Could you please come and help me to clean my computer and make it work? I love ceramics, and there is this art of ceramic healing in Japan, when they heal ceramic in pure gold, as some of you know. A very beautiful part of tradition. I've considered myself an artist all my life. I've done things with my hands all my life. Yet I would never dream to take and start gluing that, because it requires completely different skills and know-how to do it. I would need to go through real workshops with someone who knows what they're doing. So that's number one. Number two is much more subtle. It's karmic. So whenever we begin to offer guidance, when it comes to this, we pull the invisible strings of karma, whether you believe in it or not, whether you even agree of the existence of karma. And I know that Neo-Advaita has a particular stand on that, which to me shows how illiterate spiritual understanding in the West has become due to this popularization, and whatever is suiting the narrative is taken, the rest is discarded. But the concept of karma is exemplified in the law of cause and effect. That's all. The law of karma could be summarized in just this single, simple line. And yet, karma is all there is. And yet, unfathomable is the course of karma, as the scriptures say. The Bhagavad Gita utters that. So, the Bhagavad Gita meant Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, in response to Arjuna, that unfathomable is the course of karma, the course of karma. Even the wise are bewildered by it. So these karmic repercussions of becoming involved in someone's process as a guide is always present, because we are dealing with this extremely powerful, subtle force. So these are just things I want to mention. But will the course contain the part on how to support others? Psychologically, yes. In terms of how to orient them in this kind of, when you know what this is, let's say when you have the coherent, hopefully all-encompassing picture, which you let all sink into your cells, into the fiber of your being, then everything you would say to others will have that extra dimension. It will have that quality to it. But this course is not a teacher training kind of course on how to offer guidance to others. I don't want to mix apples and pears. Maybe the following up course will be dedicated to that. At this stage, I don't know. But I want to make it also very clear. This is not the course of how to guide others on the process. Although, with that being said, and if you have been following attentively enough, that coherent picture, when it is there, affords the possibility of giving someone perhaps that much needed advice, which will become crucial piece of information in terms of what they need to hear at a given moment in time. But this is not a kind of surgical workshop where I'm going to then pat you on the shoulder and tell, okay, go and perform this on someone's subtle anatomy. So that's not the case. I will be clear about that.